Hello and welcome to the sewing studio. So here I am, a very nervous Katrina with my friend Jeanette. Why am I nervous? I hear you ask. Well, guess what? We're doing zips again. And if it's not bad enough doing a zip on something flat, we're doing something on very 3D. This gorgeous little pouch, which I absolutely love. And Jeanette assures me I'm going to make one. Anyway, watch this space. Okay, Jeanette.
Yeah, shall I say a little bit about this?
Yes,
How this came about
do.
originally, my sister wanted to do something other than Christmas crackers one Christmas and said, look, what can we do instead of Christmas crackers? Because there's so much waste after, you get a bin full of rubbish from Christmas crackers with all the packaging. So she wanted something she could use every year. And then I was showing her different options and she liked the look of these. So I've made her a whole set and she fills them up with all her Christmas goodies, little poppers and everything.
Oh, I love it.
And she fills them up and we all get gifts, but we all have to give the pouch back at the end of it. And then she refills it again for the next year.
What a fantastic idea.
Yeah.
I love it. And it's quite big, isn't it? It's quite roomy. You could get lots of sweets in there.
I did some different sizes until we came out at the size that we thought, that's the right size. So
lots of goodies.
Yeah.
Oh, love it.
So custom made for her for that size. So what we're going to need, what you're going to need, and I've told you ahead of time so you could prep, but this is made from 6-inch squares.
Yeah.
So I like to do these two coloured ones. I think they just look a bit more fun than one flat colour.
Yeah.
But you can just use the same fabric. It's entirely up to you if you're using your scraps and everything at home.
If I ever do a second one, I might do two. But anyway, let's see how we get on,
Then they're functional as well. So we'll put that one there for our inspiration.
Okay.
So we've got two 6-inch squares for the outside.
Yeah, I've got that.
Now, I raided our scrap box here in the cupboard and found these Christmas fabrics. I think that's a Moda one, but I don't know the name of it. And you said to me that's a Macawa one, I think.
Mine's Macawa, yours Macawa.
Yeah.
Macawa, and they were something scatter. I can't remember, foliage scatter.
Yeah, they've been in that box in there for a while and I raided that. And look, we've both chosen the same lining.
Yes, see? Great minds think alike.
Great minds think alike. So we've got 4 6-inch squares in total, 2 for your outside, 2 for your lining. We need a zip that's at least 7 inches. I tend to work with a slightly longer zip. They're a bit easier and you don't have to be. Now you can see mine actually came off a zip on a roll or something, I think, or I've cut it off another zip and added a head. And then we need another piece of fabric. I've already sort of prepared mine, but that is 3 inches by 6. You can get away with 3 by 5. But because I had a 6-inch strip for the outsides, I just tend to cut another.
It made more sense to cut.
So I keep it at 6 inches.
Okay.
So what you're going to do with that one, I'll start there with the easy bit, is fold it in half.
Yeah.
And then fold the 2 ends up to the centre. Let me just put that in under the close-up so everybody can see. So you end up with a piece that looks like that, and then we're going to fold that over.
Yeah.
All right.
Oh, I can do that bit, not a zip inside. I'm going to do that. I'm excited.
Well, I'll ease you in gradually. Nothing too intimidating.
You see, it's my own fault. If I'd have practiced after you showed me the first time, I wouldn't be as nervous now, would I?
That happens. Life happens, doesn't it? We don't always.
Well, you go to what's easier, don't you? I just need you to come and move into my sewing room with me.
I'm happy. I've told you before, I'll work for jelly beans.
I could do that. And then fold it again.
And then fold it again, yeah. Now this bit is optional. That's just to make the little tab on the top. And I just find it makes it easier for you've got something to grip on to for opening and closing.
Yeah. Okay.
Your pouch, and also just,
Yeah, so I've done that bit.
Looks a bit finished, all right?
Yeah.
So we can top stitch that. You can either do that now, and let me put that onto the close-up. Now I like to top stitch on both sides to make it look even, but of course you can just do the edge that we've left open.
Yeah.
Entirely up to you.
Okay, do you want me to do that now?
You can do that now. I think the machine, I've actually got the foot on there, and it's actually a walking foot or an even feed foot, but it's got a narrow
this is
base
new.
on it.
What's this then? I've not seen this
Because I've got one of
before.
those at home, and I use that for zips. And because it's the walking foot as well, it sews really easily. But because it's narrow, it acts like a zipper foot.
Oh, I like this.
Now I'm just going to increase.
That's really clever.
Yeah, I thought I would treat you.
Oh, you spoil me, Jeanette. So I'm just doing this now.
Yeah, so you can just sort of line it up somewhere along the edge. I've increased your stitch length to a 3.
See, you're just good to me.
It wouldn't matter too much, but
Oh, I think I've come over too far.
it'll be all right as long as it holds closed.
Because I'm not used to this fancy foot.
Yeah, that'll be all right.
That'll
Hold
be-
it closed.
yeah.
If you want to go again, go again.
No, I'll just do one.
Yep.
I'll just do that for now.
I won't do
Yeah?
mine for now. We'll crack on with yours. Now,
Okay.
I tend to set that. Now, if I don't do that first, quite often I get to the bit and then
you've
realise I've forgotten to
forgotten.
make my tab. So then your 2 outside pieces,
Yeah.
you're going to attach some fusible fleece. Now, you could use quilt wadding if you've got offcuts of quilt wadding. If you use quilt wadding, of course, you'd need to put a bit of quilting in. But when I use the fusible fleece, I just don't worry about quilting. And it's only a small little pouch, so it doesn't necessarily need quilting. But of course you can if you so wish.
So just press that.
Yeah, and I've cut those at 5 3/4, so just slightly,
Okay.
just slightly bigger than the 6 inches. Is that on your lining?
Yeah.
It doesn't matter.
Failed to the first hurdle.
You
I
might.
was so excited.
If that's still hot, you might get away with.
We've not got another bit.
Well, we could get another square.
It's a sewing shop. We should be able to get another bit.
Yeah, but if you heat that quite often,
Oh, I see. Right.
can.
I was thinking, I'm just going to make sure I've got it on the right
I
side.
should have watched you do that because I could see you were.
So you have to watch me all the time. I can't be left alone. I can't be left unattended.
Are you nervous?
Yeah.
This is stress. Quilting stress.
Oh,
It should be
dear.
fun. It's a hobby. It's all right. We can save it.
Right, we can salvage this. I just need to make sure I'm pressing on the right side because guess what? I've got a wool pressing mat at home and it's got a lovely sticky patch on it because once before I hadn't got this the right way round. I think we've all made that mistake.
Turn your mat over. It'll be fine.
Yeah, exactly, that's what I do.
It'll be fine.
Right,
Okay.
there we are.
So you're outside.
Are we cutting that out, Blake, or are we leaving that one in? I think we're leaving that one in.
Well, people will do that. And it's like, actually, there's no reason why you can't add your outside, but I find it just sort of stabilises it a bit more if it's on the outside. But with the fusible, if you haven't really ironed it down and let it set, if you heat it again, quite often...
Yeah, that was a good tip, actually.
You can gently peel it off again.
Save it. So, okay, yes, as we were.
As we were. So decide, well, yours are the same, but I sort of decide which side is going to go on which. Now this is where we're going to do the zip. Okay?
Okay.
But this is a flat zip insertion at this stage.
Okay.
So you're not trying to fit it into that shape. We make it that shape after we've put the zip in.
Okay. Oh, that's good.
All right, so zip.
Yeah.
And Katrina's chosen a lovely green one to go with hers.
Yeah.
So we're now going to right side down, making sure your head, if you've got a directional fabric, making sure the zip head is at the top, because of course we want the zip to open that way. So we're going to put that right side out of the way for the minute. Okay. So line that zip up.
Yeah.
And then get one of your pieces of lining. Place it on top, just making sure that all your edges match. Now you can, if you're a bit worried about getting everything lined up, you can make your lining slightly bigger to give yourself a bit of wiggle room and then just trim it to fit once it's on, but it shouldn't be too bad. It's a little pouch. And now we're going to sew down that line here. All right, so.
Right, am I pinning it?
You can pin it if you like to pin it. I don't tend to pin much with zips.
Okay.
Because I find it distorts the zip.
Right, okay, I'm going for it.
You can use a bit of glue, the glue pen, and that will help hold it in place if you feel things move about. But I find these are quite small, it doesn't tend to move too much.
Okay, I'm just going to go for it.
Go for it.
I'm going to be brave.
Now, I'll just say I use like the edge of the foot along the the ridge where the coil of the zip is, so you can feel it, because you're doing this blind, so you can't actually see where your zip is, but there is quite a distinct bump there.
Like that, you mean, that edge?
Yeah.
Right, okay.
So you can just keep your foot running along. Oh, she's going fast.
I want to get it over and done with. That's why I'm going fast.
It's only 6 inches. You're only sewing 6 inches.
Get it over and done with. I can have a cup of coffee. Oh, I say it's a bit wobbly. And that ain't right, is it?
Yeah.
Is it right?
Yeah. No, it's not wobbly. No, that's okay.
Right.
Well, if you want to go in a bit closer, you can go again.
Oh, do you know what? This is why I've got such a thing with zips. I'm thinking I've sewn it in the wrong place, but of course I haven't. That's the lining,
Yeah,
isn't
that's
it?
going to go in behind.
Oh, see, I've got
That's
this.
that's okay, but if you're not
Right.
happy, you can just sew again, and you don't have to unpick. You can just come in again a bit closer, but I think that's looking fine.
Okay.
That will hold
Right.
it.
Well, if you're happy, teacher, I'm happy.
The other thing I would say, if your zip is very wonky,
Yeah.
I don't know what the word is, give it a press before. If your
I
zip is
see.
flat before it
Yes,
goes in, it's going to go in flatter.
Yeah. That
So
makes
take that to the
sense.
iron and give it a press, and you want to press it so that it folds back. Let me just put that onto the close-up so everybody
And
can
also,
see.
if it's a nylon zip, don't put a hot iron
Well,
on
I
it.
do.
Oh, do you?
I
And
do.
it's all right?
Yeah, unless you
Oh.
like hold it there forever. But I
Yeah.
have it on the hottest heat,
And it's all right?
and it's fine.
Oh, okay.
It's absolutely fine. So you just want to press it to just make sure there's no sort of tucks or anything, and
Okay.
it's well away from that edge.
Right, let's do that then. I can do that.
See, that didn't go in too bad, did it?
No,
It's
actually, it's
flat.
better than I thought.
Yeah.
It's just when I look at it, I can't get my brain round. I think, oh, that should be on the other side, but because
Yeah.
I forgot it was my lining.
It's your lining.
Yeah,
All
right.
right.
Yeah.
We'll top stitch that in a minute, but we'll put the other side on. So we're going to do exactly the same with the other side. So here now, I tend to sort of lay it back out. I'm going to put it under the big one just because we're getting a bit big for the close-up.
Right.
All right, so I tend to right sides together first, like so,
Yeah.
and then I flip it over and then put the lining in again. So it's always outside to outside, lining to lining,
Okay.
and then the zip is in the middle. Now you might want to put a couple of pins in there to hold that a bit better. But I tend to take the pins out as soon as I start sewing. It's really just to
It's just to get it to
keep
the
it in place
machine,
while you move it. Yeah.
isn't it?
Yeah.
I think more than anything.
Yeah.
Once I get it to the machine, I'll be all right.
Yeah.
She says. Right. And exactly the same.
Exactly the same.
Oh, I don't know if I've moved it now. Anyway, let's go for it.
Yeah, you can always come back in and do a second seam if you feel you haven't quite got it.
What do you think?
Yeah, perfect.
I love it. Perfect. It's not as perfect as yours, but it's not bad.
Yeah,
for
but I've
me.
made, I don't know how many of those I've made, 30, 40, I don't know. Quite a number.
Well, if you're doing them for Christmas, I think it's a great idea, but I'd just like to say if anyone from my family's watching, you won't be getting one for Christmas.
Not this year.
You're not even going to get one, never mind make loads.
And we're doing them Christmas, but they make really nice presents. If you just did them in everyday fabric, they just make a nice little pouch to put your binding clips in or something.
Likewise, friends, you won't be getting them either.
All right, yeah, no, do a few.
I'll
it's fine.
commission you to make them
All
for
right.
my friends. How about that?
Okay. We won't tell them.
Oh, dear.
We've just told them. Now we're just going to top stitch
Yeah.
just along there, and that's just so that we keep all the fabric well away from the zip, particularly the lining. So as
Right.
we're opening and closing the zip, those inside fabrics aren't moving and getting trapped in
It
the
is a
zip.
bit wibbly there,
It's
isn't
fine.
it?
It'll be fine.
It'll be fine.
It'll be
right,
fine.
Okay.
For your first one, we're just going to go with it.
Top stitching.
Top stitch.
So when you top stitch with this foot,
Yeah. Just
Do you use the edge of that foot again?
You can put it wherever you like. Just pick where something that you can see that makes sense to your brain, that you feel you can keep in line, fairly straight.
Oh.
Was that the machine hitting the zipper head?
I don't know. Hang on, I'll
It
check.
might have been. It might have been your foot just catching on the zipper head.
Oh no, it's okay.
Yeah.
I like that foot.
Yeah, it's good, isn't it?
That
Because
is,
you've still
that's
got the
really
properties of the
good.
walking foot, so your fabrics or your layers aren't shifting.
I might have to get one of them.
Yeah, I've got one at home, and I use it all the time instead of the zipper foot.
Right.
Now, just my other top tip for top stitching,
Yeah.
if you're a bit worried about going wobbly, just use a thread that matches, and then if you are a little bit wobbly...
if I'd have been doing this at home, I would have done,
It
because
hides, but
you
no,
can
that's lovely
see it's a
instead.
little bit...
No,
the
it's fine.
stitching is, but I think the zip's a bit how I've put it in, but anyway.
Don't worry.
Hopefully it won't show when it's on that curve.
It'll be fine. Okay, so just a little add in. This is the stage at which I would add the tab, okay?
Okay.
And you can choose either side, it doesn't matter, it's going to come out in the middle, so...
Yeah.
And I tend to do it sort of about an inch away from the zip. Now, I tend to sort of oversize it a bit like that.
Yeah.
Put a pin in there. And then I would just go back with a little tacking stitch, about 1/8 of the inch, and just stitch that in place. But that's where it would go at this point if you were going to insert a tab.
Right, so...
Oh, that's a good point, actually, doing that.
Would
make
you?
sure, no,
Yeah,
make sure
that's
you
what I
don't
was
catch the
gonna
lining.
say.
Yeah, no,
So
make
it's
sure.
just on the top?
It's just on the outside.
Right, so when you put your two
Yeah.
top bits together, yeah, I'm with you
your
now.
side movements.
Yeah,
It's just outside to outside, lining to lining.
yeah,
All right.
right,
To lining.
I'm with you now.
And then that tab's in there for when we come to do that next step.
Yeah, excellent.
So I hope that clarifies, because I'm sure we would get some questions if I wanted to add
Yeah.
a tab. When does it go in?
Well, when I make my next one, I should put a tab in it.
Okay.
Thank you.
You're very welcome.
Right.
Okay, so now we're ready to actually make the shape.
Okay.
So I always think of it in my head a little bit like a dance. We're going to go side, side, bottom, top. All right?
Okay.
So you two...
Where do you go dancing where you do that then?
I don't know, but I went jiving. Oh, I went jiving once. That's
Okay.
side, side, bottom, top.
That's a
attached
bit
to that.
sticky 'cause of
that's,
before.
That's fine. So outside bits all go together.
Yeah.
Lining bits go. So this is the side bit.
Right, side, side, yeah.
I'm going to sew these two outside edges.
Okay.
So outside edge. I'm going to put that under the camera.
Sorry.
So that's all right. 1/4 inch
Got
there.
eager then.
She's ready. Now the zip's in. Now the zip's in.
Yes.
She's all confident. And then those two together there.
Right, okay.
All right, so
I
this
can
is
do
our
that.
side and side.
Side, side. Right.
Okay.
Side, side.
Side, side. Now we're going to do our bottoms. So for this, we're going to take
Oh.
that side we've just done,
Yeah.
and we're going to sort of place it so that it sits on top of the zip, is what she's trying to say. Okay, grab that big clip there, and just, yeah. And then the same with that, okay?
Right.
So you can see what I've done there. I'm going to unclip that and let you do it, because
So what we're now doing all four together?
We're doing all four together. So if I put it back flat, I just want to muscle memory. Test.
Now I've got to remember.
Now see if
how
you can
to
remember
do it.
how I did it.
Right, so you did the top first, didn't you?
Bottom, side, side, bottom.
Yes.
Yeah, so make
No,
sure.
that is the bottom,
That is the
yeah.
bottom, yeah, you are correct.
So this is the centre, so does that go in the centre of the zip
Yes.
then? Right, okay. Right, so I'll just clip
So
that.
you got it.
And then
Fast learner.
I'll go like
Perfect.
that.
Yeah.
Hang on. So that goes that way, That goes that away.
And this is where these clips are actually better than pins at this point, because you can just clip.
Yeah.
So we're going
I should have had
through.
more of them, but anyway.
We're going to sew all of that in one.
Right the way across
Yeah.
there.
Now, if you've got a 1/4 inch foot with a bar, you might want to clip your zip off at this point.
Yeah.
Or you can sew it and then trim.
Well, I'll sew it because we haven't got a 1/4 inch.
We haven't got nothing to catch. Anything. Nothing. That was terrible English.
Right. Let's give that a whirl.
Let me grab the scissors.
See, this is why it was good to leave this walking foot on.
Yes, I do it when I make these at home. I leave my... Sorry, finish my sentence. Yeah, it just deals with all the layers really well.
Yeah.
I mean, you can do it without a walking foot, but like I say, it stops things shifting quite so much. All right, and then you can trim off. I've just got the old scissors there. I tend to, we were talking about fabric scissors, weren't we? I tend to save my old scissors for trimming zips and things because it does blunt them. It does blunt them. All right, so we've now done the bottom.
Yes.
Now we're going to think taco.
Right.
As in the thing you eat. I don't know what the tacos there are, actually. We shouldn't be let loose together, should we?
That's hilarious. Think taco. Right.
Taco or fortune cookie?
A fortune cookie, I think.
All right.
Yeah. My tacos, I don't think, are that shape. Anyway,
No? Well,
we
it's a bit taco
digress.
shape.
Right, okay.
So here, this is where the zip can be a little bit tricky, but we also want to open our zip because in a minute we're going to need to turn that through.
Do you need to do that on there? Because I'm sort of getting my head in the way.
Yeah, that's
It's
okay.
all very well you're
I'll show.
teaching me, but we are supposed to be teaching
I know, we forget people are watching. Just our own private lesson.
We're having too much fun.
That's how it looks.
Right, yeah.
So we're going to open it up now.
Yeah.
That way.
Yeah, fortune cookie.
Fortune cookie. And we're going to take our zip and bring it all the way down to the bottom.
Right.
And lay your zip teeth on top of teeth.
Oh, that's a good way of doing it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now this is also where these clips come in because you can just sort of hold that pretty well shut.
Yeah.
Now when I did this, when I first started making these, I used to try and sew all the way across. And now I find it's much easier if you start at the zip and work out.
Okay.
And then
do
it in two.
Yeah.
So with the outside, we're going to go all the way along. With the lining, we're going to go a little way along, leave a gap for turning, and then finish the seam.
Okay.
All right. Now for a gap, you probably want sort of about 3 fingers widths.
Yeah, because there's quite a few bits to get through. So
just go gently when you go over the coil of the zip. Also, I should say we're using a nylon zip and not a hard plastic zip or a metal zip. If you have got a hard plastic or metal, you need to make sure you only go up to it, skip over it, and then start again.
Right, okay.
You'll do nothing but break a needle if you try and sew through it. Don't forget to stop and leave your gap. Were you going to?
of course not.
It's lucky I said something then, wasn't it?
Of course I wasn't going to. I'd remembered.
Are you fibbing?
Sorry. I don't know if I've left it big enough now.
We can always No, that should be all right.
That's all right.
Okay.
Right, okay, shall I snip that off?
Yep, snip that off.
Exciting.
You've done it.
What, I've made it already?
Yeah.
Oh, I might retract that then. People might get them for Christmas. Well, one person will anyway. Nobody else will. Right. So I've got to turn it all through this gap.
Now, before you turn, I would just take off some of the bulk from the corners like we would normally in a...
Right, okie doke.
In a little, it just makes it a little bit neater.
I don't know whether it's because I'm hot because I'm doing this or the lights in this studio are really hot today.
It does get hot.
I think it's a combination of the two.
And it's a hot day outside.
Oh, I've forgotten that one as well.
Okay.
Right. Let's go.
Let's go.
Let's turn it through. So exciting. Just chat amongst yourselves.
Yeah.
And then, so I've done that.
Yep.
I've got to go all that way and then turn it
Then
the other
turn
way.
it through, yeah, because it comes
Right,
out inside
okay.
out.
Yeah. This is well exciting. This is so much better than I thought it was going to be. And look, not a hole inside.
Not a hole inside.
Yeah, except the hole.
Except
I've
the
got
hole
to
you've left.
Stitch.
Yeah,
I've got
so you can
hand
either
sew
machine or
that.
hand sew. I tend to just
Okay.
sit there and hand sew them.
Okay. Oh, look at this. Look at this.
Oh, have we got a...
I'll just very carefully poke it with these scissor ends. But yeah, we had one of those.
Zinc turners.
Yeah, you know what I mean.
Yeah, I can't see one. I've got a pencil. I can't see one in our box of tricks. Yeah, don't be tempted to do it with your scissors. You do that, don't you? You think, oh, they're at hand.
Yeah.
I'll just do it with my scissors, it won't matter.
Yeah,
Oops.
and then you live to regret
Oops.
it. Oh, look at that! Ta-da!
Do you know what we've done, though?
What?
We forgot to put the tab.
Oh.
But it doesn't matter, because you can have one without the tab.
Well, I want one without the tab. I'm picking it to put it in.
Oh,
so the point that we should have put that in would have been...
I attach it when it's still flat, actually, before you start. Yeah.
Yeah.
With or without a tab.
Yeah, without a tab.
It works just as
Oh,
well.
I love it. Thank you so much. And I'd just like to point out, look at this fancy little tassel or charm, I should say, that Jeanette has got on hers. And what's even worse is she made it herself, of course, because she's such a smarty pants. But isn't that gorgeous?
I'll have to make you one for yours now.
Oh, yes, please. Can I have one for mine?
I do. I've done it. Said it on camera.
I'll retract that. She's not a smarty pants. She's a really good friend. Oh, thanks, Jeanette.
That's
really
okay.
tried.
I told you that it's a lot easier than it looks. So, zip number 2.
Yes. Yes.
How was that?
Less painful than I thought. And I really like that foot. I'm going to get one of those.
Yeah, it's the narrow. I think they call it on the Genomes. I think they call it the single feed.
Yeah.
Because the Y one's a dual feed, and I think that's a single feed.
No, I love it. I love it. No, it wasn't that bad, actually. I can start to cool down now.
Yes. Well, there we are. So
Thank you.
That's all right. You're very welcome. That's long overdue. I should also say that's also a little demonstration for Mary, who used to be the tutor here. Do you remember Mary?
Oh, yes.
I bumped into her at Christmas and she saw these and she said, have you done a video on those? And I said, no, not yet, but I would for Christmas in July. So also big shout out to Mary there. I hope you enjoyed that, Mary.
Perfect. Thank you.
All right.
Thank
you very much. If you give these a go, do share your photos with us. Of course, you can make them any size. I use 6-inch squares, but you can go up and make really big ones of these. I would say, though, don't try to get much smaller than 5 inches. They get a bit too fiddly.
Yeah,
and
I can
5 inches is a
understand
bit
that.
small, but that's quite a nice little size for one.
Yeah.
But yeah, just squares and a zip and a few little dance steps, and you'll get one done.
Excellent.
All right.
Thank you so much.
Well done.
Hope we've inspired you.
And I hope you'll join us again here next time in the sewing studio.